They look like very strange goats. Look at that. You can see there's a person there to give you reference of the size. Good morning, guys. You find me in a place called McDonald's, not McDonald's. It's very different. I've ordered something that looked like breakfast. It consisted of me pointing at pictures, saying yes. All of it was in Russian. I don't even know what hello or please or thank you is in Russian. But today, we're going to go look at some points of interest in Astana. Well, today and tomorrow I'm going to split it because otherwise I'll spend most of tomorrow just sat in a room and I don't want that. Yeah, so it turns out there's not a lot of points of interest in Astana. I'm going to go move around anyway and try and find things that aren't on the maps. So I'll just be wandering about looking at stuff. There's a reason there's not loads of things here. There's not many historical monuments in Astana, but there's a good reason for that, which I will explain later. I'd also like to point out in a previous video, well, that's not posted yet, but I talk about like the awkwardness of being sharing a house with a young family. Now, I want to point out the awkwardness isn't from them. They have been very friendly. Yesterday, the grandmother made me some, maybe like a bread snack thing, which is really nice. She made me tea, biscuits. It was really, really kind of her. You know, I asked the host if I could do laundry. She did my laundry for me, which was brilliant. And if they ever, for some reason, watch this video, they're thinking, oh, did he not like his stay? No, it was lovely. The house was lovely. The facilities were great. It's just, I mean, think about why it's awkward. I think it's because if it was the other way around, the last thing I want is strangers in the home. I can't stand when builders come round, people come doing work, people I've invited. I don't like it. It puts me on edge, and that's my social anxiety. So I'm thinking about how I would feel. I mean, these people have probably done this a few times. They've got a few reviews that said they were really nice, and obviously I'd leave a review that said it was really nice, but it's me, it's not them. I just feel so in the way. But as I said, they've been really friendly towards me. But yeah, anyway, so I'm gonna try what I think is breakfast. It had eggs on it, so we're going with breakfast. And the woman suggested something else I should try with it or after it. And I got a tea, but it was all in Russian, so she kept off giving me options, so I just pointed and said yes. So let's see how that works out. Alright guys, so this is what I thought was a breakfast. It's kind of like a breakfast, but it's a bit different. It's got eggs, sausage, chips, I assume that's ketchup. I've got this bun thing that was suggested to me. I don't know if it's sweet or not. But what I didn't realise is when she was giving me tea, so that is the tea, it comes in a bowl, which is fine. It tastes like fruity, which is also fine, but I ordered a large, which comes in this like half-litre thing, so that's interesting. But let's give it a try, see what we got, see if we can balance this so I don't have to. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas, try a bit of the tea. Yeah, I think it's got cherry in it. They've not given me a knife either. So I guess I'm cutting with a spoon. Let's try a bit of sausage. I think it's more of an chicken sausages things. Yeah. It's not bad, but it's definitely not like a Cumberland or a Lincolnshire sausage. The rest is just chips, egg. It's alright, a little bit soggy, but an egg is egg. Yeah, and that's a piece of bread. So I don't know how traditional this is or what, but it's alright, it'll do for breakfast. I try and find something more traditional for lunch. Alright, so the first stop on my adventure is the Barış Stadium. This is the hockey stadium of Astana. Apparently hockey is one of the main sports in Kazakhstan, and this is I think this is the national stadium. Opposite that is the Astana Arena. That's the football stadium where the national team plays. The stadium looks pretty cool. I mean, I'll be honest, the Kazakhstan national football team isn't littered with prowess. I think it would take me a long time to name a single footballer from Kazakhstan. But the stadiums are pretty impressive. This whole area is quite neat. It's like compact, it's got all these tall buildings around it. A lot of Kazakhstan is full of skyscrapers, apartments, flats, businesses. Yeah, there's also got this I Love Barry sign. I'm sure Barry isn't just a name, but I think it's pretty funny to say I love Barry's. But yeah, this is like the sports centre of Astana. Obviously we've got more to show you than just a sports centre, but I just thought it was pretty cool. My the apartment I'm staying in is only like 5 minutes down the road, so I can sort of see half the stadium from my window. But yeah, I mean, I don't really watch hockey, but apparently it's pretty big in Kazakhstan. I mean, ice sports in general will be pretty big, because what it's important to note is Astana is the second coldest capital in the world, only to Mongolia, which I can't remember the name of the city or its capital. I did write it down. I'll remind you later when I check my notes. But yeah, also an interesting fact about Astana is it is currently the capital of Kazakhstan. I say currently, it doesn't mean it's going to change, but what's important to note is it only became the capital in 1997, which is when I was 6, which shows how old I am. Please don't do the maths. But what happened is I think he's a president, it's Nur Sultan Nazarbayev, I think was his name, decided to move the capital to what was at the time a small farming village called Atua or Atuma or something like that, so he could redesign it and build it in what his vision of a capital city was. So since then, that's when they started to add all these tall buildings, all these modern skyscrapers. But what's interesting is Kazakhstan, and Astana specifically, is a real city of the future. So the buildings are set to withstand temperatures of +40 all the way down to -40, because, as I said, it gets very cold in the winter. It's the second coldest capital city in the world, and everything about it is modern. So when you go round, you won't find much historical relevance. You know, before it became the capital, it wasn't really anything. It was just a small town, city, and they built it up to be what it is today. So that's why everything here is so modern. Everything's well thought out. It feels like a city for the future. Like, if you look, like, Astana is not a massive city by any stretch. Like, but look at the width of the road. It's almost as if it's built for when people come. I mean, there's a lot of people here now as to when it used to be, but everything's just well structured. The boardwalks, sidewalks, whatever you want to call them, pavements are all wide. The other thing to note is, I'm not sure about the public transport, but it's not really a walking city, mainly because most of the time it's under snow. So it is a place that the locals, all of them seem to drive. Like, all this pavement, there's one pedestrian. So yeah, I just thought it was quite interesting that this has only been the capital for what? It's not even, I don't think it's been 30 years. 28 years maybe? And I find it very impressive. I mean, yeah, well, there's plenty more to see though. We're going to go around and have a look at some more places. So I'm going to leave this part here. But yeah, I hope you found that interesting, because I certainly did. Alright guys, so you meet me at a place called Park Avenue. It's got this fancy statue here. I know it's Park Avenue because it says Park Avenue right at the side of that building there. Now, the Nur Sultan guy that I mentioned before, I can't remember his name exactly, obviously when he's designed the city, he wanted it to stand out. So like all through the city, there's so many, like, I was going to say iconic, but maybe not iconic, but, you know, standout buildings, spheres, monuments. So I think the whole point is to make Astana somewhere that stands out, and to be honest, it does. Like, look at the place I'm walking through here. Like, it's all really fancy, it's all really well maintained, it's all smooth. Like, honestly, Astana's like really surprised me. Kazakhstan surprised me so far. I mean, I've only been here 2, 3, I don't even know how many days, 2 days, and like, everything's so modern, it's all contemporary. Obviously, people who are into the history and stuff, it's not really for them. Oh, what's this? Oh, it's like a model of like a clay oven, that. So yeah, look, there's some little furnaces for melting copper and iron of the Bronze Age and the Early Iron Age. The end of the free early 1 millennium BC. Yeah, I don't know what. So I think it's a replica of what they used to do to stay warm before Christ, which is what BC means. That's really cool. Yeah, all through this, like, centerpiece aisle is like, look, I don't even know what they are. They look like very strange goats. Yeah, but no, they've got loads. I just think it's pretty cool that they're like, you know, yes, it's great to have history, but if that's not your speciality, then make it somewhere of note. I think it's definitely worth a visit. I'm glad I've come here. Like, Because I'll be honest, it's one of them places, you know, especially when you're from like the UK, if someone says, where you going on your holidays, you go, oh, I'm going to Kazakhstan, they're going, what? But it's nice. Most of it's reasonably cheap as well, look. I don't know if this is like an original or it's just a design, but look, it's like cave paintings, look, a guy fighting buffalo. Maybe this is something they found and they put here, or that someone's created. I don't know. This is the part where the reset. Look, good thing is you have these Bronze Age, Iron Age. It just says a Bronze Age and Iron Age. It doesn't say if it's relevant or not. It might be just artwork. But anyway, I'm not probably going to just look at the park. There's something at the end of the park that I wanted to show you. Well, I wanted to see myself, to be fair. I say I wanted to show you. You discover it as well as I do. So, I'll meet you a bit further on. Plus, all the middle monuments are sort of finished now. It's just rocks and sort of leaves. So, yeah. Alright, so as I said, they wanted the city to stand out, so they built a lot of monuments and stuff to add to the allure of the city. One of them being their very own Arc de Triomphe. It's literally called Milliglit Arc de Triomphe. Obviously based on the famous one in France. The main difference being that there isn't a load of angry Frenchmen crashing into each other. But I think that's pretty spectacular. This area is pretty spectacular. It's got the curved buildings like the Arc de Triomphe. From the pictures, I've never actually been there. It's got lots of places to eat. It's got a Papa John's. But I think I am going to get a coffee. I've not had one yet. They only had tea when they served breakfast. And then I'm going to decide, because I've got a choice of 2 places I can go to next for the thing, and I'm going to try and work out which one's the best one to go to from here. But this place looks good, Master of Coffee, so I'll enjoy one of them and then we'll catch us up in a few minutes. Alright guys, so the next place I've brought you is this massive park. I mean, this is the centrepiece of the park, really. Look at the width of it. Oh, could fit its own city in here. They've got people doing the gardens and stuff, but they've got this monument here. I don't know what it represents, to be honest, because that wasn't why I came here. The other reason I didn't come here is to look at this massive thing. So this, I believe, is meant to represent the classic Kazakh woman. I don't mean like that's what they all look like, but I think that's a traditional Kazakh style dress that she's wearing. Why it's here, I don't know. What it actually represents, I also don't know. But it's interesting nonetheless. But the real reason that I came here is to show you this pretty massive and unique building that I was considering going into, but I've sort of changed my mind because one, it would be a whole video in itself. It's absolutely huge and museums aren't for everyone. But this massive sphere thing, it is the Museum of Future Energy. Now, I'll tell you what, I'm going to go up and have a look, but I think there's too much for me to even put into a video in there. But I just thought the actual structure of it was impressive. Like, this is what I mean, everything they've built here has got design to it, purpose, structure. It's like I said, plan for the future. It's one of, if I'm being brutally honest, there's places that I've loved, but as a city, the design of it is probably one of the best I've been to. Like, I can't really put into words how like different to what I imagined it would be. Now granted, just because it's my imagination doesn't mean that
it would never have been impressive. It doesn't mean I had really low expectations, but it's just not anything towards what I expected. I mean, look at it. Well, I don't even know what half this stuff is. Like, you can see why I can't. There'll be a whole video of going around it itself. But yeah, apparently they had an expo in 2017, and they literally built this for it, is my understanding. Look at the state of it. Like, I'm looking on my screen is quite small. I don't think it really even gives you an idea of how big it is. But right, okay, so this is why it's so massive. So it's the University of Astana here. Right, I didn't know. That might explain why a lot of the people around here look quite studenty. But yeah, but we're not going to spend all day here. Well, they've got a massive park as well for the kids. That's pretty impressive. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to sit down for a minute, evaluate where the next target is, and head off on the way. There is something I've seen, but Google Maps doesn't really help you use it or tell you how to use it. But it looks mightily impressive, so I'm going to give it a go. So hopefully if it works out, you'll see that in the next bit. If not, I'll just film a bit of it, show you how impressive it is. But I'm just going to sit here for now. Probably film myself as I say. I hope people are enjoying it so far. But yeah, I'll see you in a little bit. Alright guys, so I've just popped into this mall for a bathroom break, which I get, yeah, I went to a mall yesterday. We've been to a mall in Istanbul. Why do we keep going to malls? But one thing about this mall that I found very impressive to see as I came in is it has its own ice rink. Look at that. I did tell you that ice hockey is one of their national sports, but look at that, an ice rink and everything. And if you're thinking, oh well, maybe it's seasonal. No, we are in August, so I think that's pretty cool. If I was younger and fitter, I probably would have had a go on that. Also, it's really hard to film because as soon as I fall, this camera's toast. It's not the most durable. It's got the joystick on it, not joystick, gimbal. So as soon as that goes, this camera's dead. And then I like the GoPro, but just with that, working with that alone would be a challenge. But anyway, I just popped in here to use the bathroom. That coffee has really sped things up, let's say. But again, like I said, it's all really modern. Look at this mall. Look inside. We've got cars for sale. Turn the camera on. There we go. We've got a car in. Behind that is a car for sale. There's a few cars in the entrance. It's also like thingy. As I said, I'm really surprised at what they've got going here in Kazakhstan. It's just a real eye-opener. Alright guys, so after the mall it started to rain, that's why I'm in this fetching get up. But I just wanted to show you, I just walked for half an hour because the scooters don't come this side of the city for some reason. I walked through marshlands and forest, even though there's a road there that I didn't know existed. But why have I done that? It's to show you the Mosque of Astana. Look at the size of it. I mean, you can see there's a person there to give you reference of the size. How many people this must hold at mass, or I think it's mass they do, must be shocking. It's just a monster. I think it's definitely the biggest mosque in Kazakhstan. It could be, now don't quote me on this because I didn't do my research, it could be one of the biggest Islamic shrines or buildings this side of the globe, to be honest. Although we're in Central Asia, so maybe India. So I don't know. Don't quote me on that. Maybe I should stop just making facts up. But look at the size of it. It's huge. The outside area is huge. There's nothing round there, and this is sort of the point I've been making. So like, you can see in the distance, there's all these buildings being built. I don't know if I can zoom in a bit, but all the cranes there. So the city is constantly expanding. So I reckon 5 to 10 years, this whole area will be full of buildings of similar design, ilk. Because, like I said, it's only been the capital since 1997. And then it was just a small village. And now, it's not necessarily massive in, you know, the city limits, but it's massive in terms of the buildings, the infrastructure, everything about it. It just feels new, modern. It just exceptional. Like, what they've built here is just crazy. So, yeah. And this mosque is just a small representation of the sort of infrastructure that they have. Like, I know I keep saying it, but it's a real surprise because a little bit of what sort of gives me my opinion of Kazakhstan is because, you know, it's easy to think in like the West, in England, even as you go through the original parts of Europe. I say original, it's like the first parts you meet as you come, that I've travelled through. We feel like everything's modern and it's sort of sold to us like as we are like at the peak of engineering. Obviously we're not quite as far along as China and stuff like that. So, and when you come here through places like Georgia, Turkey even, Sofia, where it's not that they're bad places, they're really lovely, but they're not, the infrastructure's not quite as modern, it's not quite there, and you feel like it's going to be like a sort of running theme as you go along. Granted, I haven't seen the rural parts of Kazakhstan, I haven't left Astana yet. I will leave Astana soon. I'm trying to work out where my next city is. I think it's going to be Almaty, to be honest. But I think they've got more historical relevance in Almaty. But yeah, it's a real eye-opener. And actually, if I'm being honest, if you're looking for a modern city break, I would definitely add Astana to your list. Admittedly, there's not loads of touristy things to do here. And according to Google, they reckon Almaty might be a better option for tourists. But if you're looking for somewhere that's modern, with the times, if you're not into historical things, it's a really interesting place to come. So, yeah. Anyway, that's enough of my sort of monologue about Kazakhstan. I've got one more thing to sort of show you, if I can work out how to use it. And then we're going to leave this video for today, probably because it's raining and because I'll have nothing to shoot tomorrow if I don't. But yeah, so I'll show you that and then, yeah, we'll see how things work out. But for now, I'm just going to sit for a minute and rest because it was a bit of a walk here and I've got a bit of a walk back as well. So yeah. Alright, so for the final part of the video, what I'm going to try and do is try and get a ticket to ride this thing. Now this is a metro line that runs the entire length of the city, and I think it's structurally quite impressive because, you know, unlike in most cities, it doesn't run along the road causing problems, congestions, people getting run over by it. It's a massive bridge all the way across the city, and I think it stops right near where I'm staying, I hope. The other question is, how do I get on it? Do I need to download an app? Do I have to pay for it by card? What station do I get off at? Can I actually get on it? So yeah, I'm going to try and ride this thing. It looks pretty cool. There isn't many trains that go across it. Like one train went past that was 15 minutes ago. So, but yeah, like I said, they've got brilliant infrastructure in this place. So we're going to try and ride that. Alright, so we're at the platform. Ticket was very straightforward actually. I think I get off the stop after the Astana Arena at Martial Palace, so maybe that could be something to look at. But the ticket cost me 32 pence, so you can't get much fairer than that. They've even got a map, which is quite frustrating because I realised I could have got it straight from the airport instead of getting ripped off by that bloke. But yeah, oh, it goes all the way up to the train station. That is very good information, because I was struggling. It's also called Hypernora, which is a cool name. So where are we? So this is where I'm going. Just after the thing, I realised you're not even looking at that properly. But yeah. Alright, the train's here. Alright, so this is the martial arts centre, which you won't be able to see because of the sunlight. But, so, I should have probably guessed that with this being situated near to China and their, what's the word? Association with mixed martial arts, that it would be a popular thing here. And I think I've said previously, like, as much as this is close to Russia and the language here is close to Russian, I think it's a variant of it. But yet the majority of the people I've seen seem to be closer to Chinese or like East Asian in terms of their aesthetics. Which just makes me ask the question, why is it that people's appearances change so drastically, varying on the geographical aspect? Is it just simply that a different environment creates a different sort of person aesthetically? Like, I understand everyone is different, I'm not saying there's an issue with that, but why is it that geographically it changes so, like, vastly? Is there a reason for that? Is it just one of them things? I don't know. Maybe if someone watches this video knows, leave something in the comments. But it's just something that's always, I've always wanted to know, you know. Like, it would have been interesting to see if I'd have gone to the other side, to places like Aktau and wherever else there is, I can't really remember, what sort of differences they would have had aesthetically to here. You know, for example, you know, why is it that aesthetically the Indian people look so much different to Chinese people, whereas they share a border? Who knows? Anyway, so I'm not far from my Airbnb now, so I'm going to call this video to an end. I hope people have enjoyed it. I've had a quite fascinating day out. As usual, give it a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If you know anyone that would be interested in this sort of thing, give it a share. See if they want to join in. But until next time, peace.